The sign stabbed into the ground at the end of the dirt road. A bright red sold board where the old mailbox used to lean. Donna Reeves had been gone only 2 weeks.
This isn't possible. My father's land.
The farmhouse door opened. Sarah came out and she was already crying.
Mom, I had to do it. I swear I didn't have a choice.
You sold my land without a word.
I called you. The debt was going to bury us. There was no other way.
Donna walked past her into the house, boots heavy on the floorboards.
The sale closes in 9 days. The buyer is a regional ag conglomerate. They were the only ones willing to move fast.
You kept the books, Sarah, but you never asked about what's below the grass.
Sarah's tears meant nothing against the weight of something unspoken. Donna Reeves knew what her daughter had overlooked, and she wasn't ready to tell.
What does that mean? Below the grass.
Just tell me how you ended up selling my father's land behind my back.
I put the farm operating money into a feed supply startup. The partner vanished. The debt calls started coming every day.
You gambled with everything your grandfather built.
I thought it would boost the farm. It was all a scam. I didn't know.
She didn't even ask. If she'd only asked.
Donna turned and walked out of the kitchen, down the hallway to the room she had slept in since she was a girl. She knelt beside the old dresser and unlocked a bottom drawer that nobody else ever touched.
Her father had warned her that the surface was only half the story.
She lay awake that night, the folder under her pillow, and decided to drive to the county courthouse first thing in the morning. Donna parked at the county courthouse before the clerks unlocked the doors. She stepped out of her truck, the old folder held tight, and walked toward the heavy doors. Inside, the records room smelled of dust and old ink. She asked the clerk for the 1971 deed book. The clerk laid the heavy-bound volume on the desk. Donna opened it to the page she knew would be there. The deed read, "Mineral rights severed from the surface, a separate legal asset, recorded October 14, 1971. The assignment book held a matching page. All mineral rights conveyed to Donna Reeves, personally, on her 21st birthday, 1973.
It had been hers for 60 years. Sarah never knew. The buyers never checked.
She made copies of every page, paid the clerk, and gathered the folder, now heavy with proof. She stood at the courthouse steps, the truth, now a weapon she hadn't aimed yet. She drove home, the documents on the passenger seat, her mind already planning the next move. She detoured to the roadside diner, needing coffee and a table where no one would ask questions.
Her eyes found the current royalty statement. $14,000 a month.
She paid her bill, slid the folder under her arm, and drove the final miles home, without the radio on. The farmhouse was quiet. Sarah's truck was gone. Donna went straight to the kitchen phone. She dialed the numbers she could recite by heart. Howard Murdoch, the land attorney who had known her father.
Howard, it's Donna. Pull the Reeves mineral file. Tell me, it's still intact. Yes, I have the original assignment. It was never transferred to the LLC.
Howard's voice was calm. The severance was as solid as the day her father recorded it.
So the surface could be sold, but everything underneath belonged to her forever.
She locked the folder back in the bottom drawer, the one her daughter had never opened.
You were gone before sunrise. You won't even look at me now. What else am I supposed to do?
You did what you thought you had to. And now I need time to decide what I have to do.
Time? There are 8 days left. If you have some way to stop this, tell me.
I am not stopping it, but the terms might still change.
What terms? You keep talking like there's something I should know.
Not yet. She'll find out when the buyer realizes they left a fortune underground.
Sarah retreated into the hallway, still trembling, still not knowing. Donna pulled the county phone book from the shelf and found the conglomerate's attorney, Harris Cole.
This is Donna Reeves. Tell Mr. Cole I'll be at his office tomorrow at 10 o'clock. It concerns the Reeves farm sale.
She placed the receiver down gently. The meeting was set. She still had 8 days to tilt the ground beneath the sale. Donna arrived at the glass and steel office early the next morning, the folder tucked beneath her blazer and a quiet weight in her chest. Harris Cole met her in the lobby, handshake practiced, smile already delivering a prepared line.
Mrs. Reeves, I was told you wanted to discuss relocation terms. We can make this very easy for you.
Mr. Cole, I am not here to discuss where I will live after the sale.
Then what exactly are we here to discuss, Mrs. Reeves?
Donna sat, unbuttoned her cream blazer, and set the folder on the desk without opening it.
I want to talk about what your title search overlooked.
Every Reeves acre was run through county records. There is nothing missing.
She opened the folder. The top sheet was the 1973 assignment, the ink still sharp after 60 years.
He has no idea what nothing can cost on this ground.
Donna slid the assignment across the polished wood until it stopped directly in front of his hands.
What is this? Mineral rights assignment.
My father severed them from the surface deed in 1971. He assigned them to me personally on my 21st birthday.
Harris reached for his phone, dialing his paralegal without taking his eyes off the page.
Pull the Reeves farm title report. Did anyone run a mineral severance search? No. Read me the surface-only schedule.
The answer came back in under a minute. The surface title was spotless, but nobody had checked what lay beneath.
You are telling me this entire 280 acres sits on top of a separate estate that belongs to you.
With active gas leases paying $14,000 a month, and I hold full ingress and egress rights.
Harris sank back into his chair. He asked for 24 hours to verify the documents and speak with his client.
Take whatever time you need, Mr. Cole, but the sale you are closing in 7 days won't look the same when you are done.
Donna's truck rolled up the farm road under the afternoon glare. Sarah's car was still in the drive, and the questions would start the moment the engine cut. She stepped inside to find Sarah shoving bank statements into a cardboard box, her hair unbrushed, her face tight.
You weren't here for breakfast. The bank called again. You better have a plan.
I went to see the people who are buying our land.
You what? Mom, we're closing in 6 days. If you upset them, the whole deal could collapse.
I don't intend to collapse it. But the price they agreed on won't hold.
The price is locked. I signed the contract. What are you talking about?
The price you set was based on a title that didn't tell the full story. The buyers are about to correct that.
What full story? You keep talking in riddles.
Donna just shook her head, turned down the hallway, and shut her bedroom door. Sarah stood in the silence, the box still in her hands, understanding nothing. The next morning, a call from Harris Cole summoned Donna back to his office immediately. She drove the familiar route, the folder heavy on the passenger seat.
Mrs. Reeves, I've spoken with my client. The mineral rights you hold create an untenable liability for any surface buyer. It changes the entire valuation.
Then tell me what the new offer is.
The conglomerate will still proceed with the surface acquisition, but only at 60% of the agreed price. The subsurface risk makes the full value unusable.
The surface price can be cut, but the mineral rights stay untouched. The royalty stream remains mine, and I retain full ingress and egress for the gas company.
Understood. We'll draft an addendum to reflect that.
Harris slid a draft addendum across the polished desk. It formally reserved all mineral rights to Donna Reeves in perpetuity.
I'll have my attorney review this, but we are close.
Donna left the building with the document in hand. The sale would proceed, but at a price that Sarah would not recognize.
The surface was shrinking, but the ground beneath would never, ever leave her hands.
Donna walked back into the farmhouse kitchen. Sarah was waiting, her face pale and set.
You went back to them. What did they say?
The sale price is being cut by 40%. It'll be finalized in a few days.
40%? That won't even cover half the debt. Why are they backing off?
Because there's something beneath this land that wasn't in your contract. Mineral rights. Gas leases paying $14,000 a month.
Mineral rights? Gas leases? You knew about this and didn't tell me?
Your grandfather severed them in 1971. He gave them to me. They were never part of the family LLC. They're mine.
You hid something that could have stopped this whole sale. You let me panic while you sat on a fortune.
I didn't hide it. You never asked. You managed the books for years without ever looking at the deeds.
Sarah shoved her chair back, her face a mask of betrayal. She didn't say another word, just walked out the door and left Donna alone in the silence. Donna didn't move from the kitchen table. The scrape of Sarah's chair still hung in the air like a half-heard accusation. She heard the dull thud of her daughter's bedroom door down the hall, then the thick, tear-choked silence that followed. She stood, crossed to the mantel, and lifted the black and white frame that held her father's face. He was younger than she was now.
His voice came back to her. The words he'd said the day he handed her the mineral assignment. The surface will pass, Donna. What's beneath? That's your anchor.
In 1971, her father had watched neighbors lose their land to dust and debt. He'd made sure his daughter would never stand on hollow ground.
She could still see him in the barn doorway, hat in his hands, telling her that the land would remember who loved it even when people forgot.
The mineral rights were the final thread connecting her to that promise. She had not asked for this fight, but she would not lose it.
She would not apologize for holding what her father built to protect her. Not to the buyers, not to Sarah.
She set the photograph back on the mantel, poured herself cold coffee from the morning pot, and sat in the quiet. The wind rattled the window panes. In that heavy stillness, she felt no regret, only the weight of a decision she had made years before her daughter ever signed a contract. The hallway door opened. Sarah stood there, bank statements crushed in her hand, face swollen from crying.
This reduced sale won't cover the principal. I'll still have to file for bankruptcy.
I know. I'll help you not with mineral money, with a plan. A fresh start.
A plan? You'll just buy me off with your gas money so you feel clean about keeping the rest?
Number. I'll help you stand up, find work, pay lawyers. I won't sell what's mine to fix a problem you created by never asking.
You'd watch me drown with your lifeboat tied to the dock.
I didn't tie the lifeboat, Sarah. Your grandfather did. I am not cutting it loose.
She stared at her mother, eyes wet and wild. Her face broke not forgiveness, just recognition. She grabbed her keys, pushed past Donna, and walked out. The truck engine turned over, and the farmyard dust hid her taillights. The next morning, Donna sat at the long table in the conglomerate's conference room. Sarah's chair was empty.
Mrs. Reeves, the final amendment reduces the surface purchase price by 60%, as agreed. Your mineral rights remain wholly unaffected.
He slid the document toward her. The numbers were brutal. Sarah's cut would barely dent the debt.
She signed her name without hesitation. The weight of the pen felt like a closing gate.
Closing is set for the end of the week, 3 days from now. We'll wire the funds once the deed records.
Everything else stays as written. Mineral rights, royalties, access.
She took her copy, a single page that secured what her father had carved out of the earth. Donna rose, thanked the room with a nod, and walked out into the hard morning light.
The surface was sold. But the ground beneath, the royalties, the right to walk her own land, those would never belong to anyone else.
The victory was quiet. It felt like a bruise. Closing day. The conference table was crowded with attorneys and notaries. Sarah arrived alone, stone-faced and sat as far from Donna as the chairs allowed. Harris slid the cashier's check across the polished wood. Sarah lifted it without a word, the amount printed in hard, low numbers. She did not count it. She did not speak. Donna signed the surface deed first, then the mineral reservation addendum. The pen scratched flat and final.
It is complete. The surface belongs to the conglomerate. The mineral rights remain with you, Mrs. Reeves.
I never want to see you again.
I know.
Sarah shoved back her chair, the scrape echoing like the first kitchen fight, and walked out. She did not look back. Donna waited until the door clicked shut. Then she rose, collected her copies, and walked out alone. The victory was a document she would never frame. She used the surface sale proceeds and her first royalty check to buy a small cottage on 4 acres at the edge of the original property. The realtor handed her the keys outside the white clapboard house. It sat just beyond the new owner's fence line.
From the living room window, she could see the farm road and in the distance, the roof of the old house. It was all she needed.
She unpacked her kitchen things first, setting the kettle on the stove, filling the shelf with her mother's plates. Sarah had left weeks before. No forwarding address. The farmhouse stood empty, waiting for the conglomerate to repurpose it. Her first royalty check arrived at the new mailbox. She opened the envelope on the porch, the paper familiar. $14,000. The gas wells still pumped beneath the soil, and the money still came to her. She brewed coffee and carried it to the front porch, where a rocking chair faced the road.
From that chair, she could watch the trucks come and go, the field crews working the land she once plowed.
The gas company's service truck passed her gate each quarter, the pump jack still nodding in the distance. It was enough. Flatbed trucks rolled through the gate within a month. Heavy equipment tore out old fence. Tractors turned soil she'd walked since childhood. Dust settled on the new sign. Donna watched from her porch rocker, coffee cooling. She did not look away.
She never thought she'd see unfamiliar machines on that ground, the plow's sound cut deeper.
The gas company trucks still came every quarter. The pump jack kept nodding, and her royalties never changed. She opened the mailbox and pulled out the familiar envelope. Another royalty check, $14,000.
The money came without effort, but Sarah's silence filled the cottage more than any check.
She sat on the porch as tractors turned the field. The land was still hers underneath.
She had held her ground. The victory sat quiet in her chest.
It was enough, and it wasn't. That was the cost of keeping her father's hidden deed. A year after the closing, a registered letter from the conglomerate arrived at the cottage. Inside was a single typed page, an offer to buy her mineral rights outright for a lump sum.
They still didn't understand that this wasn't about money.
She sat at the kitchen table, found a blank card, and wrote a single line. The card read, in her steady hand, "Not for sale." She sealed the reply with no hesitation and walked it to the mailbox at the end of her lane. She placed the offer letter in the bottom drawer with her father's original deed and the 1973 assignment. That spring, she planted tomatoes and marigolds, her hands pressing seed into soil she owned completely. The royalties came as they always had. The gas company trucks never stopped.
She would never sell. The ground beneath was not a transaction.
The phone rang in the cottage one Tuesday afternoon, a sound that had grown rare.
Mom, I know you are still getting those royalty checks. I need help. The bankruptcy filing left me with nothing.
I told you I'd help. But I need you to come here. Sit with me.
You mean sit on your porch and watch you gloat over what you kept?
I don't gloat, Sarah. I just want to see you. That's my price.
The line went quiet for a long moment.
I can't do that. I can't look at you and pretend you didn't choose money over me.
Then I can't write the check. Not like this.
She heard the click of the line going dead. Then silence.
She could afford to buy 1,000 visits, but she couldn't afford to be bought herself.
She pulled on her old jacket and walked the fence line that marked the edge of what was once hers. At the corner post, she stopped. The conglomerate had hung a heavy steel gate with their logo stamped in blue.
The latch was cold. She remembered her father's hands on the same wire, teaching her to mend fence. His voice came clear over the wind. The land will always remember who loved it, Donna girl. The surface had a new sign now, but the gas rights were still hers, and the checker's envelope would come next month just the same.
She still had legal ingress. She could walk any path she needed, any time she needed it. The paper was inviolate. She looked out across the field toward the distant wellhead, its pump jack moving with the same old rhythm.
It was enough. She didn't need to own the grass to own what lay below.
She turned and walked back toward the cottage, the autumn light low on her shoulders. The gate clanked shut behind her, but she did not look back. 4 winters had passed. Donna, now 75, still walked the fence line each week, watching the gate that was no longer hers. One afternoon, a car came up the road. Not a conglomerate truck, a dusty sedan with Texas plates. It slowed near the cottage, just for a moment. Through the window, she saw a pale hand on the wheel, and then the taillights shrinking toward the highway. She didn't wave. She didn't call out. She just watched the dust settle.
You were right, Dad. The surface passes. The rest stays.
The black and white image of her father stared back, steady and silent. She set the frame down. From a shallow drawer, she pulled a small metal key ring, the keys to the old farmhouse.
She had carried them on a chain for 30 years. Now, they were relics of a door she didn't own.
She placed the keys in the drawer beside the mineral assignment and slid it closed. They were no longer hers to use. The sun sank low behind the cottage porch, painting the fields in prairie gold. Donna sat in her rocking chair, a cup of coffee cooling in her hand. The distant hum of the gas pump was the only sound. It had been the only sound for years now. In her lap lay the original mineral rights assignment, yellowed and worn at the folds. She didn't unfold it.
She had memorized every word. The date, the grantor, the legal description that ran across 2 pages.
Below the porch rail, the conglomerate's trucks were pulling out for the day. Same dust, same taillights, same hour. The wellhead nodded in the east field, a silver silhouette against the orange sky. It had never missed a quarter.
Some victories are loud. Hers was the quiet kind. The kind that sits in your lap like old paper and hums.
She took a sip of cold coffee and watched the light drain from the sky. The mineral assignment was not a weapon now. It was a promise kept. The land beneath the grass would always answer to her name, and the trucks would keep coming, quarter after quarter, until the wells ran dry. The cottage light was a small amber square against the darkening plain. Inside, Donna set her coffee cup on the sill and did not turn on the lamp. The land was never just dirt. It was the choice to stand on what was hers, even when it cost her everything. Donna Reeves kept the keys to her father's wisdom, and every quarter, the earth paid her back. She had not won back her daughter. That silence would never fill. But she had kept a promise made before Sarah was born, and that was enough. The mineral assignment stayed on the table beside her. The ink faded, but the signature still sharp. No one would take it from her now. Not a buyer, not a lawyer, not even her own blood. A single truck rumbled past on the farm road, its headlights sweeping the fence line, then swallowed by the dark. The cottage stood still. The wellhead hummed its old rhythm, and Donna Reeves, now 75, sat in the quiet, fully answered. The land beneath the grass would always answer to her name, and the trucks would keep coming, quarter after quarter, until the wells ran dry.